Welcome. Let's look at the combined science paper that is for November 2020, question number 4. That's paper 2. So, Fig 4.1 shows the stages that are involved in the extraction of gases, gas A and gas B. So, we have these two gases, that is gas number A and gas number B. So, pane this process yedu inonzi we have two things that are involved here. We have from here to here we have fractional, that's fractional distillation, and then from here we have that part where we have to liquefy the air. Saka it's what liquefaction of air. Is that okay? So before we consider the answering the question, try to relate this part of the question to what we know from the diagrams, right? So from the originally, air is taken in, right? When air is taken in, the first thing is that it is compressed and then it heats up. So air compressed, so it means the particles, let's say we had particles, right? Let's say we had a particle, and then they are compressed, then they come together. So if we have, let's say we have particle, and then they are compressed, it means that these particles have been put together like this. Saka paanopulwa like this, there is movement energy, and then the particles bombard each other more. Saka bombard each other more, then they tends to what? To be a build up heat. Is that okay? So you find out that when the air now ikapinda this channel inenge yaitwa up, it needs to be cooled. So pari kukulwa ichishanswa liquid nitrogen. Yakula ichishanswa liquid nitrogen, then it is also compressed again, and then it passes through where it is compressed and it is allowed to expand and it turns into liquid. So once the air turns into liquid, then that air is then fed into the fractionating column or the fractional tower, where we separate the gases in terms of their boiling points. So that's where we would have nitrogen yedu in a lower boiling point inovayatorwa kumsoro, and then we have oxygen yedu in a high boiling point inovayatorwa kuzasi, and then other gases. So on other gases we have the other gases just coming out from there. Saka let's now compare it to what we had. Then on our question we had this one, and we have a filter paper, right? Saka when air enters here, there's a filter paper, and the filter paper is just there to filter solid particles, as well as to also filter like another carbon dioxide, etc. So after that, the next thing that we would have to look at now is the questions, right? So under my questions edu, the first question advances in name the component that is removed during filtration. And so the components removed are water vapor, dust, and other solids. Also, number 2, which is B1 edu, identify the process that occurs in the tower X. So the process that occurs in the tower X redu is this one. This one is our tower X. So the tower X redu, what is occurring there is that we are having the air being fractionally distilled, and there is separation of what? Of gases. So for our answer, that's where we have the fractional distillation of what? Of liquid air. We also have another question again, and explain why air is compressed and expanded rapidly and repeatedly. And so papa pani patambotaura just recently kuti pauno compressor air, right? Ndiro inowedzera the bombarding of particles, and the bombarding of particles painowedzera, that increases the heat, right? Saka it is compressed because we want the particles to come closer together, right, for such that they can turn into liquid, and then it is expanded to avoid the issue overheating, such that we can obtain our liquid air in a lower temperature. So it is so as to achieve high pressures as well as what, low temperature. Then C, explain why gas A is collected first. So we have gas A. This is where we have our gas A being collected, and the reason is because it is a lower boiling point. So if it has a lower boiling point, it is the one that will quickly be given out. So it is the lowest boiling point. Then D events, identify the gases A and B. So the gases A and B would want to identify them. So the gas that is coming from the top is nitrogen, and the one coming from the bottom is oxygen. So the gas A is nitrogen, as well as the gas B would be would be oxygen. So we would have nitrogen, and there is